Okay, now I have my radiator in. I haven't tightened anything up, but I just put the lower hose on. And see if I can get some light in here. Got my coolant lines I got to go back on, transmission coolant lines. And the whole bunch of stuff that's got to go back on yet, like my line that goes to my heater core. That is this one right here. I'm not even pointing the camera at. Alright, so there isn't that awful much left to do. Basically, you know, you got your upper rad hose, which is right there, and that's the upper radiator support. All my coolant. And basically we got just the general stuff left to do under here, aside from the mechanical temp gauge, which that's going to be fun to put in because I got to go through the firewall. And I was thinking I might go right through where the wiring harness goes through. Seems like the easiest place. That way I don't have to drill any more holes. And basically put the pulleys back on, tighten everything down, put the coolant in. But coolant won't go in until I know for sure what I'm doing with that temp gauge. But she's about 3/4 there. Alright, I'm a little bit farther along. These aren't tight yet. The alternator and the power steering pump, they're just loosely on. I haven't put the upper rad hose in yet. But I was going to ask for an opinion from you guys and see what you guys think. I know one person that might have an opinion. What do you think of this idea? These right here were El Cheapo chrome that I bought for this car about 2-3 years ago. I like the air cleaner, but the air cleaner is rusted, and so are the valve covers. They're all rusty. Now the option I have is I could put the old gold colored valve covers back on. I have them. There isn't anything wrong with them. I just at the time thought it'd be cool to put some chrome on, so I was thinking I could put those back on. But I could also leave these on. I don't know if it gives it kind of a old school look, rusty iron, rusty metal, whatever you want to say, or if it makes it look kind of crappy because of the rust. Now, the air cleaner, that's going to stay on regardless. I have the original one, but I'm going to leave this one on, and I might get another cover here, which they're cheap. I can get another one for little or nothing. But let me know your opinion. There's a few old guys that follow me, and I have one that we all know, or at least some of us do. That's Toe Wrecker. He's Mr. Olds. He's selling a 79 Olds right now. Hurst Olds to be exact. And let's see what you guys think. And let me know. There's one other thing I'm curious about here. This right here is the original cap that I had when I got the car. This is the overflow, or the radiator cap. And it acted like it wasn't really working properly, and I don't know if this is the style they were, but there's no rubber on the top half. There is down the bottom half. Now, when I bought this stant replacement, which in some ways it doesn't look as good, or it's not original, this one has two rubbers. The one up there, and then the regular one down here. Now, at first I wasn't sure, if this was the right pressure. It says 16 pounds, but yet you look at this one and it says 15 right down here. You can see it, and I mean 15, 16, if that's the case, it's not that much different. Any of you guys would have an idea? I mean, Daddy Tech, if you have any idea, since you've been dealing with cars for a long time, tow wrecker, any of you guys know if that's the way it's supposed to be, or if the rubber is missing? Thanks. This here is my stainless steel overflow tank. It's actually the third tank in this car since I've got it. The one that came in the car originally, when I was talking about this tank before the battery died, what I was saying is this is the stainless steel tank, and when I bought the car, I had an overflow tank that was zip tied to the headlight panel. Now, I have no idea whether it was original or not, but I wasn't too keen on that. So I have another one that I don't have on here anymore, but that's where these two holes come in right here. And the one that I bought to replace the one that was zip tied came off of a Cadillac from the 70s. So I had that on there for a while, and then I moved up to this one, which this one had a little complication when I was putting it in. I had to adapt over two lines because where it connects to the bottom, it's relatively small compared to what it is up here. And it's a nice little tank. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It does the job. You know, you can see down in there. Right now it's all cleaned out. I haven't put any antifreeze back in the car yet. But you got it all set up with the overflow line. If it gets to the point where it can't handle anymore, then it belches out if there's no more room. But you know, basically, I usually keep it down, you know, about an inch, 2 inches, whatever it is. But usually it'll use, like right now with me working on the car, it'll use the coolant out of there, and I'll have to add some to it along with the radiator as it's burping everything out of the system. But I decided that I was going to put, and I did, put in the, you look right here, you notice now the idiot light thing is not there anymore. I put the mechanical gauge in, and still have to tie up a few things and stuff, and right over here, there was a bracket that I have no idea what it was originally for. It wasn't used in here for anything. So I just put a little thing on there to hold it, and I just have to figure out a few more things. And I decided to go through same place as the wire harness went through. I just have to reseal that up. Now for there, I use the black RTV, and it kind of hides it and seals it, and it looks just fine when it's all done. But I put it in here, right under the dash, so it's not as noticeable, but I can see it. And then, you know, if I see that it's getting too hot, know that something's wrong, or if it's running at normal operating temperature. But it runs under here, goes over the steering column, and then as it goes over, it goes out right by the fuse panel. And so I put that in there. And next thing I'm thinking about doing is I was thinking about cutting a piece of this, cutting this line in half here, and I haven't decided on if I am going to or not yet, but I can find a place to put this dang light. I have the old sender unit. See here. And I put it onto this T-fitting with two thread nipples on each end there, so that I can put the hose, shove it onto the hose, and have it maybe be a little farther up, but it'd still be useful. And could have the stupid light, because I looked into the dash more, and the way this car is set up, when you start it up, it has right there, it has a cold light. It comes on green until it's warm. It has the generator light, then you got your brake, your oil, and when it's overheating. And I've never seen the hot light come on, but it has run pretty freaking hot, so I decided the temp gauge was the way to go. But the only lights I've ever seen were these two, the gen light, which it's got an alternator now, and the cold light, it comes on until it's warm and then it goes off. But if I decide to put that T-fitting into the line there, you know, that'll still work. But your main, oh well, there we go. Your main gauge, your main source of information for your temperature would be right there. And, you know, you don't really notice it when you're sitting here. Unless you look right down in the car, you don't really see it. So I figured it works just fine. And I basically have got everything else pretty much back together. The belts are all tight, and I just, you know, until I finish, you know, with everything, which I still have to find out whether I'm going to figure out, you know, if I'm putting this T-fitting into the hose or whether I'm just going to leave it out. But if I leave it out, I'll have these two wires that go to the idiot light there. That'll just be not used. So I don't know what I'm doing yet with that. But I know I follow Pisser, Sean. He's always working on different stuff, and he's got his Subaru and all his little toys there, and he's got his Mustang projects. But he's been interested. He wants to see the car, and so what do you think so far, Pisser? Huh? I mean, hopefully, you know, this should keep it from overheating. And worst case scenario, one thing I could always do. And there's a lot of space in between the front nose of the car here and the radiator. Could always stuff a electric fan in there for extra cooling. And once you put that panel on, you wouldn't even know it was in there, other than maybe some wires. So that's an option too. Well, since my last video, I've started it up and had to tighten a few hose clamps because they were leaking just a little bit. But I got everything back together, and everything seems to work so far. And I ended up, I found out that this heater hose was defective. It was leaking. I don't know if it was just crap hose or what the heck happened to it, but ended up replacing that, and in the process of replacing that, I did put the idiot light back in. And the way I did that is used a piece of that previous hose that was in and that was still good, and I showed you before what it looked like when I was going to put it in, and shoved the hose over those and tighten them down. But in the process, because it would be rubbing, and it's probably not the best place to put it, but I put an extra piece of the junk hose over there and clamped that down so that it wouldn't rub a hole into the heater hose. and everything seems to be fine now. The only thing I need to do is wait until it cools down, check the coolant again, and I think she's all set to go. So, got one thing left to do. Got to put a light in with that new temp gauge, but I even resealed the corner over there with the black RTV, and so everything else is pretty much done. Got it disconnected right now from the battery until I do that light, so that I don't short anything out when I'm going through the dash there. But otherwise, I guess we're done.